Alright, so in this video I'm going to show you some examples of how to do attribute-based and location-based querying in ArcGIS Pro. Alright, so all the querying tools can be found under the Map tab and then in this selection area. So what I'm going to start off with is some select by attributes. So first off, if you want to just select something by interacting with the map or a table, you can use select. So for example, I could grab this county, and then if we open up the attribute table, we'll see that that feature has been selected from the table and from the map. And these are always linked, so if you select in the table or on the map, the associated features will be selected in the table or map. I'm going to hit clear here to clear this out, and we'll get rid of this table. Okay, so let's do a select by attribute. So this is based on the table. It doesn't take into account spatial relationships. This is something you could do like in a database or maybe even in Excel without really needing to have access to the map component or the map data. So let's look at the springs layer and let's select out some springs. So I'm going to click New Expression. Note there's two modes here. You have this syntax building mode, or you have the SQL mode where you can type SQL if you're familiar with that. Here I'm going to mainly work with this mode where we're just building clauses interactively here. Okay, so let's find all springs that have an average flow greater than, let's just do 1200. And then we'll add another clause, and we'll say their topo position has to be equal to valley. Make sure it works, and then we'll hit run. Okay. To see how many features were selected, you could either open up the attribute table. So there's 24 out of 249. Another option is you can switch to this selection mode on the contents pane. It'll tell you how many features are selected by layer. Alright, so that's in the select by attribute. Let's just do one more with a different layer. So let's open up this geology layer. Okay. Oh, back to... Just turning these layers off because we really don't need them. So I'm going to turn on the geology layer here. So let's select out some geology layers. So we change this to geology. Change it to SQL. Remove. Okay, so, or remove SQL. So let's find all the layers that occurred that are of type. Let's do type shale, and then we'll add another clause, and we'll say and they formed during the, let's do Devonian period, and let's validate it and then run. Okay, so those should be all of our Devonian age shales. If we open up the attribute table again for that layer, which is here, we can see that that was 306 of 5,175 layers. And again, you can see the same information here under the selection view. Okay, so another type of query is to query based on spatial relationship using a layer's relationship to other map features. So let's open up that tool. So we'll do select by location. All right, so let's find, first off, let's find all the major towns that are within 1 mile of a major river. So we're going to change this to, we want to find our towns, and we want to find ones that are within a distance of major rivers, and specifically we want them to be within 1 mile. Okay, so that selected some features. So let's look at this selection. So that was 156 of the town features were within 1 mile of one of these mapped major rivers. All right, let's do one more of those. So let's see, how about, we'll do counties that have both a major river and a major interstate passing through them. So first off, we'll do our town. So we're going to select by location towns. We'll do an intersect. Must intersect major rivers. We don't need a distance now because it's not really distance based, and we'll do a new selection. Oh, sorry, I meant to do counties. So it looks like that was most of them. Yep, all counties. So that really didn't subset anything. So if we wanted to now subset ones that had an interstate passing through, then we could do counties again, intersect, but now we want to change this to interstates, and we want to do select subsets from current selection because we want a subset from what was already selected. And then that takes it down to 22. So since our first query really wasn't that useful, let's do one based on hospitals. So we'll also do ones, we'll find ones that have an interstate and also have a hospital. So this case we can do intersect again. We're going to change this to hospitals, and then we'll do a select subset from current selection and run that. And that drops it down to 11. So there are 11 counties that contain both a major river, a interstate, and a hospital. Whenever you do queries, one thing you should always remember to do when you're done is to clear out your selection, because sometimes that can impact later analyses when you don't actually want it to. Another quick note, if you do a selection, so I'm just going to select Preston County here. Oh, that's not Preston County. Let me turn off the geology layer. Let me clear that. So if I select Preston County and I wanted to save that out to a new layer, you can simply click on the layer, go to Data, Export Features, and then it will open this Feature Class to Feature Class tool, which will allow you to export out that vector object. If it's saved in a file geodatabase, then it's going to be a feature class, and if you save in a folder, it'll be saved as a shapefile. If you just want to save out the attribute table, you can do Export Table and save that as a table feature without the geometry. Also, under Data, you can use Export Features and Export Table. You can find Export Features and Export Table there also.